Is that it?
Oh, I heard a sound over there.
All right.
Let us know when you can
Let
start
us
hearing
know
us.
when you can hear.
It's been a little while since
since we set up the equipment.
we set up the equipment. Yeah. So let us know if that fixed it.
All right. So Joe says yes.
Yay!
Yeah? Okay, great.
I just heard it.
Okay, good.
All right. So I had it.
Thank you, folks.
Wrong
Sorry
hole.
about that.
Wrong hole.
Hey-o.
I hate when that happens.
Sorry.
I hate when that
I'm a
happens.
little
All
rusty
right.
for not setting up.
Yeah. Well,
So-
it's been a month.
Thanks for bearing with us, folks.
Yes.
So we got to start back up at the top
Okay.
because
Oh, we do have
no
to-
one
yeah.
could hear us.
Oh.
Okay, so hi everyone. Welcome to Porchcast Pottstown. I'm Amy Wolf. This is Matt Green. We are here with our lovely guest, Elizabeth
Devaney.
Liz,
Yeah,
from
Liz is good.
from Ion Pottstown. And Ion Pottstown, for those of you that are not Broglie, are not aware of what Ion Pottstown is, it is a private Facebook group that
It's now private, yes.
Right,
Newly private.
that anybody from Pottstown can join, but they
Mhm.
have to request to join.
Yes.
The purpose of Ion Pottstown is to keep an eye on Pottstown, right?
Right.
Go
So
figure.
it is. What was the genesis of it? Like, why did Jay start it? So we've had Jay Morris on the show before.
Yes.
Jay helped us with our logo and with our merch, and
He's a good guy.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
Grew up
he's
with
our.
Matt.
He did.
Yeah.
We have a title for Jay. I think he's like our
Artistic
graphic
director.
designer,
Yeah, artistic director.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jay Mars.
Yeah. So when Ion Pottstown was started, how long ago?
I honestly can't tell you because I wasn't here. Jason did all of that. He did.
Right.
Okay,
he
so
did
it's
all
been
of
a
it.
few years, though, right?
So,
Yes.
so from my understanding, this is what I understand.
Mhm.
And if somebody is in the comments or
Yeah.
watching from Ion Pottstown and you want to correct
Shame on
what
me.
I'm saying,
Is Jay over?
Go.
Maybe he's over on.
he could be on YouTube.
On
I'll
YouTube.
see him if he starts making some comments.
Okay, you're monitoring.
There
him.
I
was
can hear
some-
him now going,
There
"Oh,
was
Liz."
some crime, some petty crime occurring in his neighborhood,
Yes.
and it was frustrating him. So
Okay.
he started the Ion Pottstown page as a way for people in his neighborhood. He lives over in the Manor,
Right.
so just west of Route 100. And he started that Facebook page as a way for people to share information. Like
Mhm.
they might have a doorbell camera
Right.
or a security system. They might have seen something or heard something.
Right.
So he wanted to start this Facebook page so people could share information about things that were going on in neighborhoods related to crime.
Right.
So really what it became a digital,
Kind of
or
like a neighborhood watch.
Yes.
A
Correct.
digital neighborhood watch.
a virtual neighborhood watch.
Right.
And then from there, obviously, it's Facebook. So people started commenting and the page grew and grew and grew. So now it's just a lot. In addition to the neighborhood watch function,
A lot more.
it's a lot more.
Right. It's news. It's events. It's updates. It's
Occasional frustrations.
Yes. Yes.
Valid
Right.
frustrations.
Right.
Right.
But,
You know.
but also hopefully when people voice their frustrations or they have an issue like, hey, this is happening, or
Yes.
we've got this. Trash is always a big
Yes.
topic. We've
Yes.
talked about trash a lot on the show. And then hopefully people will give suggestions on what you can do. So don't just go on there just to bitch.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Like let's offer some solutions.
Did you take
And-
it up with management first?
Yes.
Is
did
our
you?
rule.
Yes. Did you address? Did you? Have you talked to your borough council person? Have you
Mhm.
gone to a borough council meeting? Have you? Have you tried to solve the problem before you're just going to come and
Right.
complain about it?
And all of the council people and police people that I have spoken to thus far have been very personable and
Mhm.
very easy to
Right.
talk to and
Right.
approach. So
Right.
please do that.
Yeah.
Now, weren't you guys? I mean, just a couple of months ago, towards the end of the summer, Ion Pottstown was able to get a group of people together that showed up at a couple of borough council meetings in order
Yes.
to. So
Yeah.
Ion Pottstown became the focal point, and people from Ion Pottstown found out, hey, be at the borough council meeting on this night at this time, and we're going to talk about this topic.
Yeah, make our
Yes.
voices heard.
And from my understanding, you guys were able to get a pretty good turnout from
We
doing
did. We did. This was when all of the traffic violations
Yeah,
and
speeding and
deaths
Yes.
became, at the forefront of the news, and it was very concerning
Yeah.
to a lot of people,
Yeah.
myself included, because I have two little kids, and for anyone who's ever had a 2-year-old,
Yeah.
good luck to you.
Yeah.
You know, so where we live, we don't have a backyard. We just have streets. And it was terrifying, you know, with the way that people would drive and
Yeah.
blow stop signs and speed
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. And I do genuinely feel like when we went to the council and said this is a problem, that they heard us. I do.
And
I know a lot of
it-
people
it-
don't think
it
that.
is.
but-
I posted an article recently about traffic concerns generally in America, and it
Yes.
is definitely COVID related. People are acting
forgot
like
how to drive.
like lunatics. Well, and it's also a pushback of what many people feel is an overreach of authority. Like they feel like they can't do this and they can't do that, and they're not allowed to do this, and so they're taking out their frustrations by driving crazy.
Well, it's the one place that people actually have some direct control over
Right.
their lives.
Yeah,
right?
whether they're
Once you-
breaking the law or not, they feel like they have some direct control.
right when you're behind that wheel.
Yeah.
So how many folks do you think you were able to get out to that borough council meeting? You know, if you had to estimate how many of the regular Iowa Pottstonians were there at that meeting?
I mean, maybe a handful. I mean, it was
Yeah.
hard to tell because they were still doing that virtual
Okay.
portion of
Yeah,
it, so
yeah,
there were
yeah.
a lot virtually.
Right. So
Okay.
there might have been people tuning in
Yes.
via Zoom as
6,
opposed to being in
7,
person.
8,
Yeah.
9, 10.
Average 10.
Okay.
I think that's a pretty good number, though.
Well,
Yeah.
considering the fact that there's some borough council where no one shows up,
right.
Yes.
in order to get 10 people out, that's
I
doing
think it's
something.
a pretty significant number. Yeah.
Now, is that something that you think that the Eye on Pottstown page will continue to do? Do you see them getting involved more in political activity moving forward? Because, so for instance, in the last local election, you guys were doing interviews with the local candidates,
Yes,
correct?
we did interview spotlights, which was an opportunity for anybody running to come and say their piece. I mean, there's almost 5,000 people on that page now.
Yeah,
I
it's a
think.
pretty big number.
It's a big number.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a good place to come and say, hey, this is what I stand for. This is why you should vote for me. And people should respond to that.
Right.
You know, it should matter to you.
Right.
I'm not a very political person. I can tell you. I don't
Sure.
understand anything about politics.
That's a shame.
I know.
Well, but you know the issues.
Can't win
that-
them all, right?
But you know the issues that affect you personally
Correct.
on a local level.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And now
Right.
I know who I can go to
Right.
to address those concerns
Yeah.
that I have, which
Yeah.
is nice.
So maybe not so much on like the national news, because
Yeah.
I'm sure you want to try to avoid some of that stuff on
That
Eye on
gets-
Pottstown.
Yeah, no, we
But
don't want
at least in this local area, like
Mm.
maybe state politics, county politics,
Right.
do you see that the Eye on Pottstown page is going to continue to participate in things
that. Oh, for
like
sure,
that?
for sure. Because the rule is, if it is of benefit to Pottstown,
Mhm.
then it should be allowed.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's it.
Right.
Very, very short, sweet, and to the point. If it benefits the community, if it benefits the people,
Right.
then it should be allowed.
Right. Well, and you do have to have people moderating the page to make
yes.
to make that determination.
Yes.
And to keep it focused. And I'm sure that it's frustrating to some people that they might if you try to make a post in the page, it has to be approved by the admin.
Yes.
Right. So, and I'm sure that that's frustrating to some people,
Mhm.
that some posts may be approved or not approved, but you have to have some parameters.
Oh, if you could
To-
see
right,
the
I'm
things
sure.
that people
Oh,
submit.
I'm-
We've had selfies submitted
Yeah.
for approval.
Yeah.
Just very frivolous things,
Right.
which we don't take ourselves too seriously by any means.
No, but you want to keep a focus on it.
Yes.
On what it is.
There's a point to the page,
Right.
for sure.
I think you make a good point. You know, it is kind of a hobby. It is kind of something to do, but I wouldn't completely play it off. I mean, when Evan Brandt was here from the Mercury,
Love him.
he talked about the fact that Eye on Pottstown's been able to literally break some pretty accurate news as it was happening.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, you've got
Eyewitness
it's
reports.
like exactly man on the street
Yes.
Right.
reports.
So, I mean, I think that says that even though you guys might not take yourself seriously, there is definitely some serious nature and there is some really important information that you have on your page, right?
Right.
So let's go through kind of what the process is like for this moderation. Do do the moderators, how do you guys communicate with each other in order to determine what's appropriate and what's not? Is there some behind the scenes meetings that are going on?
Oh, well, no, I wouldn't call them meetings. So we have a separate like Facebook chat that we use.
Okay.
And many times posts come through that we're not sure if we should allow them or not.
Right.
So we'll go into our little chat and say, and I'll screenshot it.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about this? What should we do here? You know, should we allow this through? And there's a lot of brainstorming about what could happen if we allow that.
If we do this, then we have to do this. Or if we do this, it's going to go down this road.
Not all posts, but certain posts. And we'll
Sure.
say, well, let's allow it, but let's monitor it closely or as closely as you can. Because remember, we all work.
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
right.
So it's like this is a volunteer job.
Yes, I don't
Right.
get paid.
Yeah.
I do not get paid for this. I would like to, but
No,
I don't.
Hey, we totally get that.
We totally understand. I mean, it's very similar here on Porchcast Pottstown, right? We want to get out good information about the community and to the community,
Mhm.
but it's a part-time job, really. Some days, there are some weeks, depending on what's going on, that I can put almost as much time into Porchcast Pottstown as I do into my paying day job.
Yes.
So I feel you on that. Is there ever a time when you see something come through and you're like, there's a good kernel, there's a good kernel in there? Do you ever go back to the poster and say, hey, if you would just
all the time.
clean this up
Okay.
a little
All the
bit?
time.
Yeah.
Yes, so as an admin and as a moderator, there is an option to decline with feedback.
Okay.
So please, if you submit a post and it gets declined, please look and see if we've declined with feedback, because then we'll get a secondary post. Like if we decline something with feedback, we'll get a secondary post
Yeah.
going, hey mods, why did you decline this?
Yeah, well, did
Okay.
you read the comments?
I said why I
Right.
declined this.
Right.
And a lot of the time it's just a matter of I can't read this. I mean, I kind of think I understand what you're saying, but if you could just adjust your there, and there real quick,
Okay.
Right.
it,
So
would,
it-
it would really
it
be
might-
beneficial to
it
me.
might
There
even-
might be a grammar syntax
Yes.
situation
Yes,
happening.
We are sticklers for that. One of our
Right.
admins is a teacher, Miss Jane. I love you.
Okay.
So yes, please, make sure that it's
So the
readable.
moderators are you,
Jane,
Jane.
Jason, and
Is it Elizabeth Harper?
she
Is that-
was.
oh,
yes,
she was, okay.
we lost her unfortunately, and
Oh.
I do miss her so much.
She's
Yeah.
watching right now. In fact, she
Thanks
put
for
up
tuning in.
she Elizabeth Harper put up a post saying this should be required viewing for all Ion Pottstown members. And listen, to that extent, Liz, if you want to help more Ion Pottstown members see this episode, hit the share button
Oh, please.
and share this live stream out to your page.
But then you have to approve your own post.
I don't have my phone.
well,
I didn't want to be rude, so I left my
The-
phone
the-
in my bag.
this episode is going to stream to
Got it,
Ion
okay.
Pottstown.
Yes.
If you go back onto the Ion Pottstown
Okay.
page, you'll see the Porchcast Pottstown logo.
Right.
Click on that,
Got it.
and this
Mhm.
episode will be there on their page.
Got
so
it.
direct people to it,
Yep.
share it, comment on it. The more we can do that, comment on this show, the more we can do help get the word out. So
So I have a question
Yeah,
about the moderators. How did you get chosen to be a moderator or volunteer, or like how did that come about?
Oh, it was a very selective process. There was a swimsuit competition and everything. I started following the Ion Pottstown page when I learned of its existence. Shockingly, as many people as are on that page, I don't think there are a lot of people who know that it exists.
okay.
Which is weird. So, I followed the page for some time, and then I actually messaged Jay at one point and then said, if you need any help, let me know. It was probably when I was on maternity leave and had nothing better to do because I
Right.
was just feeding a baby and
Right.
changing diapers. So, but I did say, I was like, if you need help, let me know. But, it being his heart project, I'll call it, he was very particular. So I had to meet him in person first, which I was kind of weirded out about. I'm not,
Right.
once you get to know me, I'm pretty social, but it does take me some time to open up. So we sat down, I met him, I spoke with him. We got to know each other a little bit and about what the page was about really and what his goals were. And from there I became a moderator. And then at some point, I don't even remember when now, I became an admin, which has a little bit more ability to it. Like I
Right.
can see a lot of the statistics that go along
Right.
with the
Yeah,
page.
it's
and
more of a page management rather than
Yes.
just posting, being
approving and
posted-
denying
right.
posts and people and
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Now, once these topics take off, and what's interesting to me is sometimes you'll think that there's going to be a topic that's going to take off like wildfire, and it doesn't. And then other ones that are like, where the hell did that
Oh,
come
I
from?
have a very good eye for those things.
Okay.
And there are absolutely times where someone will submit a post and I know exactly what everybody's going to say about it, but it needs to be said.
Right.
And I'll allow it through, and it is a total shit show, as I anticipate it being. And I go, all right, cool.
Mhm.
You know, that's I don't
Right.
want anybody necessarily getting yelled at or bashed or anything like that. But like I said, some things just need to be said.
Right. So, I mean, and I think that was something that we were talking about before the show when we were sitting down and kind of warming up, is that one of the issues that I had early on with Ion Pottstown, and let me say it's much better than it was before. But one of the initial issues I had when Jason first revealed the page to me, so to speak, was that a lot of the stories or a lot of the threads became jumping off points for people just to absolutely pile on and bash town.
Yes.
I don't see that as much
Yeah.
as I
Yes.
used to.
I agree.
So that's good.
Yeah.
But my point was, in getting to the good stuff, sometimes we have to go through some bad things, because no one wants to be Pollyanna and say, oh, Pottstown's great, nothing
Right.
bad ever happens here.
Right.
And sometimes in order to move forward, we have to kind of experience that pain, right?
Well, yeah, and you
We
have to acknowledge that there are concerns that people have and issues that need to be dealt with, and
Right.
and hopefully in a productive way, or like, okay, let's bring our issue to the page, and then hopefully get some suggestions. People want to
Yes.
come and just bitch about things, then that's
Right.
not very productive.
Which
No.
one of the themes that I've been seeing lately is, have you gone to council meetings?
Right.
Have you taken this
Yeah.
to council?
Yeah.
To the people whose job, by
Yes.
definition, it is
Yeah.
to address
Right.
this concern.
Right. And if you don't want to go to a council meeting, are they still having them virtually? I can't remember.
I don't know.
I
But,
think
or
so.
or you can just send a letter to your counselor. I've gotten Ryan Proxel is our council member,
Mhm.
and I've emailed him about things, and he's been very responsive to me. So
Yes.
you can email. You
Right.
you don't necessarily
You
have,
have
to
to
show
be
up in
willing
person.
to work too. The council
Yes.
people can't necessarily
Don't stir
do
the pot if you're
everything
not willing
for
to
you.
lick the spoon.
Right. You
right?
can complain all you want on social media.
Right.
But if you don't do your part,
Mhm.
nothing will be done.
Right.
For example, us being an HOA neighborhood, a private neighborhood where I live,
Right.
traffic laws were not able to be enforced there. So when all of this stuff
Okay.
happened with traffic being an issue, blowing stop signs and that
Mhm.
sort of thing, I went to the police chief, who is just such a nice person. I know that there's a lot of stuff going on with the raise and everything. Everyone had a lot to say about
Oh yes,
that.
they sure did.
Don't they?
Yes.
Always. But he really is a nice person. And I genuinely feel I am a good reader of people, and he really does want what is best for Pottstown. He worked with me, and I went to our HOA board, and I said, this needs to change. Why can't police come in here and enforce traffic laws?
Right.
They should.
Right.
And it changed. We got together a legal document that was signed off on, and they are now able to go in and enforce traffic laws in our neighborhood.
Beautiful.
But I had to
It's
do
like
the
if you-
footwork
yes,
on
you
that.
had to do it. Exactly.
And I did.
So is it like a private road? Is that why there
Yes.
was okay.
Yeah.
It's private
Okay.
property. So
Yeah.
you need a
I-
memorandum of understanding.
And,
Got it.
and I
Okay.
didn't even know that was
Right.
a thing. Because like I
Yeah.
said, I'm not political. I don't understand
So look
legal
at that.
stuff.
You
but
had a concern.
I learned.
You went through the process and you got a change made.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
So-
and that has
And I
to
know that
be-
not everything is not. I'm not saying that was easy, but not everything is resolvable in that kind of a way.
Right.
But you at least got to go and go through the right channels and find out whether it is able to be resolved.
Right.
And if
you
not,
don't start, you'll never know.
Right.
And I think too, like this is kind of where I'm going with this, is that how do you think, or has there been any discussion amongst the staff at Ion Pottstown,
Yeah.
how you're going to cultivate more positive connections and positive story and positive interaction on the page. Like,
I see.
are there things you're currently doing, or is there some thoughts about how you can continue to cultivate what I really see as positive growth from the beginning to where you guys are at now? It's a lot of positive growth.
Yes.
I'm kind of hitting you on all levels there. Like,
That's all right.
is
That's
there
okay.
something you think you can do? Is there something you think you guys can do together as moderators? Is there something that the group can do as a whole in order to keep the positive growth happening?
Well, I think it's hard to be positive. I think as humans, naturally, we gravitate towards what is negative.
Right.
It's easier to remember. It gets us hype. It gets us angry. When something nice happens, it's very difficult to sit there and you're like, oh, this is nice.
Right.
So I think everybody kind of just needs to sit down and take a look at what is good and acknowledge what is good to get some kind of perspective, instead of jumping on that hype train when something bad happens, to be like, yeah, and another thing,
Right.
by the way. As far as plans, though, it's kind of a seat of your pants kind of a thing.
Yeah, to kind of like it just evolves like
Yes.
organically.
Yes.
Right.
Marketing Mondays is a great thing that's come from I Am Pottstown. It's not something that was ever intended for the page, but
Right.
People would come on and small businesses.
Right.
I love the food in Pottstown.
Mhm.
I love food.
Yeah.
So the very best. I love Grumpy's is my favorite. I always get a number 4.
Yeah.
Right.
That's I just love it. So allowing those posts through is really important
Right.
because these are your neighbors.
Yes.
Right.
This is not a corporation that's coming in here trying to take money and you never see any,
Right. These are our local people.
The other part of it,
right.
the other part of that side too, is in addition to supporting local businesses and keeping local dollars local, those places also create meetings points where people can sit down at the lunch counter at Very Best and talk about something that happened.
Yes.
Right.
You
Or
can
at
go-
Pottstown United for the Porchcast.
Yes.
That's right.
And Pottstown United, I've been meaning to say, has a fabulous soundtrack. I just love it. I've been listening to it since I got here. I'm like, oh, this is everything I love. This is great. I don't get out much with 2 kids.
2 kids, right?
But
Working
these
full time.
places, the existence of these places within the community create natural meeting points where people can share and
Right.
further talk about things that have happened. So,
Yes.
it becomes an extension of what happens in the virtual world, and then it can flow out to the community, and then vice versa, right?
Yes.
I think one of the most positive things in I Am Pottstown, I will give a big shout out to Linda Roby, who I think
I
is
love
just
her.
the best.
Oh, yes.
She's the one that puts up the pictures of Pottstown
Yeah,
every day.
she's walking around.
So she posts those in the I Am Pottstown page and in the Good Old Days of Pottstown page. If anybody
I didn't.
subscribes
That's
to
another
that.
Pottstown page.
Yeah.
I follow a lot of
Yeah.
Pottstown
Yeah.
pages.
So Linda Roby goes out for a walk every day and takes anywhere between 15 and 35 pictures
Yes.
of different neighborhoods and just things that catch her eye. It's like little yard statues or flags or a front porch or a bush or a tree.
She took a picture of my roses.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so
just
happy.
think I love it's kind of like a challenge to look at her pictures every day and see, like, do I know what neighborhood it is? I'm like, oh, I think that's the South.
Yes.
I think that's like on the South Street, or I think that's over on North Evans, or like I like to try to guess where she is. And I just think that her pictures are delightful, and they are one of the best.
I agree.
One of the best things on that page.
There are a couple of
She is a
things
treasure.
that we will approve every time without
Yes.
question.
Yeah, like Linda, like
Porchcast,
Yeah.
Linda, our new DJ. We have an
yeah,
Iron
what's his
Pottstown
name?
DJ.
But I am
Jam-
Pottstown DJ.
Yes.
It's Jam and Jeff. Is that
Yes.
his name? Yeah. So he's the guy that plays over in the Walmart.
Yes.
Parking lot.
And everyone kept coming, like, what happened to that guy that used to play music in the Walmart parking
Right.
lot?
So
And
apparently, I've never seen him, but apparently this gentleman, Jeff, has like a speaker set up in his trunk, and he just goes out there
I've
and
seen him.
he just
Yeah,
plays
I know-
music.
yeah,
I
I've
do
seen him.
not go to
Right.
Walmart very often because Walmart scares me. But
Fair.
it's nice. It's so nice to have these people who just they brighten your day.
They
They
just
bring
do,
that
like
positive.
he just does it just to do it.
Yes,
right? Just to
they
play
ask
music
for
out there.
nothing, and I love music. So every time he posts something, I'm like, I remember this song. I love this
Right,
song. It's
right.
and it's a nice way to start your day. It's
Yeah.
good.
Let me circle back to something here
Uh-oh.
about the. No, I just want to make sure that people are aware, because I'm sure we have some folks that maybe aren't subscribers to Eye on Pottstown,
Mhm.
or maybe some people that go to it only occasionally.
Mhm.
Tell us more about the Marketing Monday and how people can participate in that. You said what
I
it
gotcha.
was,
Yes.
and obviously we know what day it is.
Yes.
It's Monday.
Yes.
Because inevitably somebody's going to contact me and say,
What
"What day
day
is
is tomorrow?"
Marketing Monday?"
I tried to put a post up, but they didn't allow it.
Yes.
When did you do it?
I can
Thursday?
tell you right now, we have posts sitting in our bin for approval
Okay.
about their business, their local business and everything that will sit there until Monday.
Okay.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, the goal of the page is that it's a community watch.
Right.
Okay.
We want to know what's going on of concern in Pottstown.
Right.
And while we want to support our local businesses, we adore them. It clouds the page.
Yeah, I totally
It's
agree.
easy
It's
to
much
then-
better to just have it on one specific
Yes.
day. I think the 422 Families page, I think, is the same way. Like they have parameters on what they will allow on certain days.
Right. And it's
Yeah.
very easy to poo-poo that until you admin a page or mod a page.
Yep.
And you see all of the shenanigans that go
Yeah.
on post approval was not always a thing. I think it's within the last year that post approval became a thing. I was very happy
Yeah.
that we introduced that because it was a matter of then going in and be like, who reported this? Why are they reporting this?
Yeah.
Do
No,
we
it's
have
much,
to delete
much
this?
better to have
We
all
see
the
what it
posts
is
go through
up
and approve.
front.
And I don't think it's not uncommon. Most pages, I'm in a couple of other groups, have the same thing. You have
Yes.
to, the post has to get approved.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are the parameters? So what
For Marketing Monday.
For Marketing Monday,
Yes.
what type of businesses can be promoted on those Mondays on Eye on Pottstown?
Does it have to be in Pottstown?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that is the preference. I think we do accept, just as we accept membership requests from a little bit outside. I think it's a 10-mile radius of Pottstown.
Okay.
We have a little bit of wiggle room there as far as local business goes. But basically, if you have a small business or a side job or like you do crafty things that you like to peddle,
Right.
you can submit that on a Monday
Right.
or
Okay.
any day of the week, and it will get approved on a
Right.
Monday. And whether or not you get traffic on your post is another story,
Right.
but that's kind of that comes with it. I've
Yeah.
seen there's
You
someone
can't promise a return. You
Exactly.
just approve it and put it
we
in
allow
there.
it through. There's someone who
Yeah.
posts very, oh my gosh, they're gorgeous. They're like dream catchers and things, and I'm forgetting the name of it. I hope that person comments or is watching or posts again. But the first time I saw it, I went, oh, I'm very easily distracted by
Right.
shiny objects, and these were that.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous, and I loved them. So all types of things.
Right.
All types of things, from the very best to, like I said,
Mhm.
Grumpy's, Pottstown United, JJ Radigan's.
Yeah.
You see, I'm very food
Yeah,
oriented.
you,
Right.
yeah, and you guys always let Pottstown go forth, post stuff
Oh,
in there,
yes.
which we appreciate.
Yes,
So-
when I first moved here, there was a bit of turmoil, I believe, as far as fireworks. Everyone wanted fireworks.
What year was it that you moved here?
I want to say I moved here in 2016.
Okay.
And then for a couple of years, the fireworks were okay. And then they did a laser light show. Oh,
Yeah.
God forbid.
I was not in charge of that.
No,
I
that
liked
was-
it.
I was not in
Did
charge.
I liked it. I
Some
did.
people liked it. Some people didn't.
People
Yeah.
wanted their fireworks.
Yeah.
We have a pretty even blend, it seems like, in Pottstown
Yeah.
of the traditionalists and
Yeah.
the young folk, the new kids on the block, so to
Right.
speak.
Right.
So they wanted that laser light show, but then they wanted the fireworks, and no one is questioning how much
Potts-
money this is going to cost.
I'll tell you who's questioning it. Amy Wolf is
Amy Wolf
questioning
does
it.
now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because she's in charge
The
of
two
raising the money
Amy's, the
for
two
it.
Amy's are questioning it all the time.
Which reminds me, how is the dunk tank coming?
Oh yes, the dunk tank.
I
I
want a
forgot
dunk
you were going to be
tank.
in charge of that.
Yes,
Yeah, it might be an
Jay
insurance.
Morris is going in it.
maybe-
That might
yeah,
be
I
an
was just
insurance.
gonna
That might be an insurance issue. I have to look at it. I'm what's known
no.
as Buzzkill Amy. I'm always like, how much is it going to cost, and is it going to jack up our insurance?
Let's get some moderators from Eye on Pottstown in
Yes.
there. You know what I mean? Let's
Right.
get them in the dunk tank.
All right.
And then anybody
I had
who's
totally
upset
forgotten about
because
that.
their
Yes.
post didn't get approved, to come down and dunk them in the
If
tank.
there was anything that was
Wait.
ever going to get you guys funds,
Right? Maybe
Mhm.
we can get a local politician or two in there to dunk.
We might know one.
I can't comment on that.
We might be able to get somebody in there.
I'm just
We
saying.
might be able
Is
to.
that for me?
That would
Listen,
be so fun.
Bill,
Thank you. Here, you can
William
take that.
Paul Barogli,
And I'll
Esquire,
take that.
has been keeping us well
Thanks,
hydrated
Bill.
on the show tonight.
Thank you.
Just for people who don't know, and I just want to throw this out there, Liz has been doing it a great job. We are live at Pottstown United Brewing
Feels
Company
good to be back here.
here on High Street. We take up a four-top right in the front window every Thursday at 6 o'clock. Please help support Pottstown United Brewing Company because they do provide this venue to Pottstown,
Yes.
Porchcast Pottstown.
Come down
for
and see
free.
Leah and JP are behind the bar tonight.
Yes. If you are a 90s baby, they have a great soundtrack.
There's a lot of other
90s
Porchtonians that
baby.
hang out down here, and like
Please
I
don't
said,
judge me.
help support
Old
them
enough to be
because
your
they
mother.
support us.
I wouldn't have
Also,
known.
don't forget that we need subscribers over at YouTube. You can go to our YouTube page, which is Porchcast Pottstown. Hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything. It is FREE.
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 Yep.
Also,
I love free.
while you're watching the show, please like, share, and comment. We can see the comments. If we get good comments, I will put them up on the screen and we will immortalize your comment here on
Forever and
Porchcast
ever, amen.
Pottstown.
Yeah.
All right, let's dig back into. I have a couple more questions for you. So,
Uh-oh.
in addition to the Marketing Mondays,
Yes.
are there any other special days or special regulations for posting? Like, do you have another day where, like, video camera Tuesdays, where you're posting all the security cam footage?
Jim
or
can put
anything?
up his
So
14
no.
videos of people stealing his newspaper.
Right.
Video camera footage is always welcome. But no, there's no other designated day. And the incentive for that day was because we had so many people wanting to post about their side business and their little bit of extra, thing that they
Yeah.
do to get some income. So it warranted a designated day. But right now, otherwise, there's nothing else.
Right.
I will say lately, we've been seeing a lot of posts. I'm reluctant to say this because I think I'm going to get yelled at for it about COVID and COVID tests and where can I go for a COVID test and where do I get a rapid test and who has the shortest wait time. And we've been declining so many posts about that because they get so redundant.
Yes.
Okay.
And I, as a subscriber to the page, I appreciate that because that information can be found
Google it.
elsewhere.
Google it.
Yeah, do not
Google
use Facebook
it.
like Google, people. Do not use Facebook like Google.
It would
So-
take you the same amount of time,
Yeah.
really.
Right.
Right.
So one of the things that I don't like about another page that I'm in is that how many times can people go in that page and ask for like who makes the best birthday cake? Just
Beverly's.
Go in there and search.
It's not
Right?
a question. It's
Like,
Beverly's.
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
only one right answer.
That's
There
it.
is only one right answer. It's Kristen at Beverly's and her crew. But like, who's the best landscaper? Who can do drywall? Like, can you search the page before you post in there?
can, and please do. So
Yes.
many people have asked these questions already.
Yes.
How would somebody go about searching the Ion Pottstown page? This is a good point. Can you point people who are watching right now in the right direction on how
Yes,
to do that?
there you should be able to find on the Ion Pottstown
Right.
page a little magnifying glass.
Yeah.
It's
So
very easy to
once you're
find.
on the page,
upper
at the
right-hand
top,
corner,
there's a little magnifying glass.
Yes.
And when you click in there, it will say, like it'll say in faint letters, searching Ion Pottstown
you
page.
can search people to snoop
Yes.
their profiles.
So
You can search
Yeah,
businesses.
in any group that you're in, you can search that
yes.
group.
Yes.
to-
Yes. So if you want to know who to go to for automotive repair,
Right.
you can search. It's been
Yes.
asked.
Yes.
Bakeries, it's been asked.
Yes.
Food places that are open on a Friday until 2 a.m, it's
Yes.
been asked.
Don't, yeah.
Yes.
But don't ask. Don't go in the page and ask if
Yes.
somebody's open.
Yes.
Yes. Make a phone call.
Call.
Well, we struggled with that during when we were doing the daily show on
Right.
Porchcast Pottstown. We
Right.
struggled with that a lot. People would say, "Oh, you guys talk about this," or they would ask us some question. And if you remember, our solution to that was we had to post a completely separate resource page
Yes.
where and we would just direct
We
people.
just
Go
put
to
it
the
over here.
resource page. Go
Yep.
to the resource page. Go to the resource page because it does kind of slow down the flow of
Yeah,
the
it gets
of
redundant
conversation
too.
Yes.
to
Yeah.
get back in there.
Yeah.
And I guess in some ways too, that kind of stuff is also eventually going to lead you away from what the real thrust of the page
Right.
is, which again, just to reiterate, because I know we've picked up some new viewers.
Hi.
The purpose of the Eye on Pottstown page, the core
Mhm.
value of Eye on Pottstown is that it's a virtual town watch.
Yep.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Yes.
To share information with neighbors and
That's what you might call the mission statement.
right. To
Yes.
share information
First
with
and foremost.
neighbors
Mhm.
and law enforcement in order to provide information about things that are going on in the neighborhoods.
Right.
And then of late, within the past couple of years, year or so, to also provide people with information that they can use to go to their borough counselors
Mhm.
so that they can influence local, and by local I mean borough politics,
Yeah,
Yes.
really local.
really
Yes.
impact the decisions
Yeah.
that are being made on how the
It's the
borough
town
runs.
center.
Yep.
Right.
It's the new virtual town center.
I like that.
Right.
That's what Jay
I-
coined that. I cannot claim that. I'm so
Okay.
sorry. It's
Eye on
yours.
Pottstown is the virtual
Town
town
center.
center
Yes.
for Pottstown.
Where everybody meets up and
Alyssa-
has their chat and discusses things that are going on locally. And there's lots of things going on locally. And I don't get to go to any of them.
Well, I'm going to
but,
get
you
to
know.
some. I'm gonna get to
Do you
some of
have
them.
some local
yeah,
events?
I do. And Elizabeth Harper is saying, "Stop commenting. Can't share." What is that? People they complain that they can't share a post.
Oh, yes. So that is not us. Facebook and the powers that be at Facebook have made it so that we needed to become a private page,
Right.
Yeah.
which was not our goal.
Right.
But in becoming private, we have made it so that random people cannot join the page. They didn't give us an option.
Yeah.
They basically said if you don't become a private page, if you stay public, people from Timbuktu can
Sure.
join your page
Yeah.
and comment on how terrible Pottstown is.
Yeah. Well,
And
and
that's-
also you get like bots and you get like
Yes.
trolls and you get like
Exactly.
right,
porn
right.
advertising.
Yeah, people
So-
people just like commenting with things that are
Irrelevant.
irrelevant and
So
Yeah.
I talked to Jay. Jay contacted me when they were going through this, and I had some back and forth with Jay, and that's exactly what the concern was, right?
Right.
If they left it a public page, anybody from anywhere could join. And
Mhm.
one of the things that Jay and the other moderators were actually starting to have some success with was eliminating those people from outside of the community,
Right.
or even eliminating trolls from within the community that
Right.
were being disruptive
right.
and tearing the thing down.
Right.
Some of the people who were overly concerned with bashing, you know what I mean?
Right.
I know, we know.
So-
we know what you're talking about.
So I'm just saying,
Not naming names.
not
we
naming
know.
names, but I think the move to the private page
Mhm.
helped you maintain that momentum that you were already starting to
Right.
with the, I guess the best way to say it, with the way you guys were curating the page to make sure that it stayed
Mhm.
relevant.
Right.
By switching to the private group, you regained that control that Facebook really gave you no option. They just,
Exactly. They
just
forced our
stripped
hands.
that power.
And the downside is that now, if you would like to share something from Ion Pottstown, essentially what you need to do is to screenshot it
Yeah,
Okay.
gotcha.
and share it that way. Because
Right. So you
cannot
can't take
share.
a post from a private group and share it
Right.
out to your public page or
Right.
to any place else.
It was
I get
not
it.
our intention.
Right.
There are people who submit requests to join the page. They don't agree with what our requirements are, which is to show some form of ID. So that we can prove that you are a person who lives in Pottstown or in the surrounding area of Pottstown, close to Pottstown,
Right.
so that, we can keep it local and make
Right.
it so that whatever it is that this person is saying, they know what they're talking about. This person
Right.
doesn't live in Florida and is going on, maybe they lived here 10 years ago and knew
Right.
what it was like then, but they don't know what it's like
That's
now.
not the page for them.
Right.
They can go on Good Old Days of Pottstown.
Right. So some people disagree with the methods that we use to allow new members in, but really it serves a
Of
purpose.
It
course.
does.
Yeah.
And for those who don't agree with it, we don't want to withhold information from them. We still want people who are local to Pottstown who don't want to submit their ID should be able to know what's going on. And Ion Pottstown is one of the better methods of knowing.
But what's their what?
right
What do
away.
you like? I didn't have to because Jade like knew me
Yes.
from this. Like
Yeah.
I didn't have to show my ID.
If you're a known
Right.
quantity,
Right.
you might
So-
not have to show ID.
So what does somebody have to show? Like the electric bill in their name or something that?
I mean, essentially, yes.
Right.
Yeah. So driver's license with the majority, we don't need your driver's license number.
yeah, you
we
can
need to
redact
know,
it.
yes,
right?
your name. We need to know when it expires is an important bit, and your address. And that's about it. And
Right.
honestly, everything else will get deleted after. I just
Right.
need to know if you live here.
We just
Right.
want to make
I'm
sure
not
you're not
going-
a Russian troll.
Yes, I'm not going to stalk you. I do
Yeah.
not care
Get
enough.
over yourself. We're not, nobody's
I-
stalking you, right?
Really,
Yeah.
really, I mean that in the nicest
Yeah,
way.
no, I
but,
get it.
And obviously, it's a genuine
Well,
concern.
God bless you because
They don't know me. I don't know them.
I'd be like,
Oh,
I
we've
think
had-
my
I think
patience
We've
would
had
be-
nasty grams.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
sure.
Yeah.
But you know what though? If it helps you maintain your message and if it helps maintain the core values of the page, then it's
That's
worth
what you
it.
have to do.
And then
Absolutely.
maybe that person who's griping doesn't belong there. Then
Right.
maybe
It's
our
optional.
values don't match yours.
Exactly.
I don't know. I
Exactly.
think you have to. Here's the other
Yeah.
part of it too, and this is a shameless plug. If you don't want to show your ID to go on Ion Pottstown, Porchcast Pottstown requires no identification.
Hey,
You can
No.
watch
are
us.
you
You can
stealing
come-
our members?
No, because we talk about Ion Pottstown
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
You guys are regular topics of
It's
conversation.
true.
We cover the same stories
Please
Yeah,
don't judge
sometimes.
us.
Pretty much.
So I feel like we're an extension of
It's
each
true.
other.
Yeah.
We're
So-
siblings.
If
Yeah.
you want to come and see the public side, maybe of
Right.
Ion Pottstown, just watch Porchcast
Yeah.
Pottstown. I'm not
Mhm.
going to ask you for any ID.
And you can bitch all you want in the comments. We just might not
They'll
answer
ignore
you.
you.
I could
Yeah.
actually ignore somebody
Right.
on the comments.
Absolutely. All right. It is getting up to be the
Yeah,
top of the hour.
it is.
It is
Yeah,
not.
I know.
It flies by when you're
I'm
having
so
fun.
sad.
All right. I wrote down dunk tank.
Dunk tank.
Dunk tank. You're
So-
going to be in charge of that. You know that if you,
Okay.
like, whoever smelt it dealt it. So, like, if you suggest it, you're doing it.
Doing it.
All right. I don't think I put these in any sort of date order, which I usually like to do. This Sunday, what happens at the new year? Everybody wants to get in shape.
They join a gym.
They join a gym. So this Sunday,
We
the
donate
Pots-
to the gym.
but yes, exactly. Pottstown Athletic Club is having their CrossFit Curious Sunday from 12 to 1:30. Pottstown Athletic Club is
It's the old armory on King
The
Street.
old armory. That's how we call things in Pottstown.
Yeah,
it's on King Street
between
between
Penn and
Penn
Charlotte.
and Charlotte.
I don't know what the address is there. It's right across the
Yes,
street from,
from the-
Summit
And
Towers.
from the towers,
or
Avanti Towers, or whatever
Avanti
it's called. Yeah.
Towers, whatever. But it's the
So-
old Pottstown Armory. That is Pottstown
Yeah. So it's
Athletic Club.
King Street on the north side of the street between Penn and Charlotte. They are having CrossFit Curious. If you would like to check out what CrossFit is, it's a 1.5 hour class for individuals who are interested in Crossfit. It
Bill
is.
Broglie
yes.
is saying that it's
It's
So have a
behind it,
drink and then go to the
essentially,
gym.
other way around.
Oh,
It
I
is-
think you would want to work out and then go grab your drink.
Yes,
That's how I do
I
it.
think that would be the order.
or just
of-
stay
yeah,
at the pub.
That would be, or you can just stay here.
16-ounce curl.
Right. So yeah.
One.
So that is on
2.
Sunday from 12 to 1:30. It is free. So if you want to go learn about CrossFit and see the Pottstown Athletic Club facility, you can check that out. Our friend Laura Cohn is in Wizard of Oz at the First Street Players. This is in Birdsboro, and that show is January 13, 14, 15, 21, and 22. First Street Players in Birdsboro. Go see my friend Laura. She is the Wicked Witch of the West. She has a hell of a
Best role
cackle.
to play.
She has a hell of a cackle. Saturday, January 15th, the Alley Takeover at Rivet. Rivet is right across the street. You've heard us talk about it before at the New York the New York Plaza. And they are joining up with their friends at the Alley for Summer in the Winter concert series. So on Saturday the 15th, they will have, who is this? Trouble City. Awesome reggae music. Nice. Reggae
Okay.
music in the middle of the wintertime at Rivet.
At Rivet.
Make
And
you
I
feel
think
toasty.
they are going to have summer cocktails from the Alley over there.
Okay.
So check that out. I love Rivet. It's one of my new favorite places in Pottstown. Pottstown Area Writers Group. So this is at Samana Holistic Center, which is in the old roller mills.
Correct. That would be at the corner of South Hanover and College Drive.
By Montco. In that little-
Yeah, right behind Mako.
Mhm.
Yep.
Cove.
So this is Wednesday, January 26th at 7 p.m. And it is being led by Josh Taylor, who is going to be our guest
Next week or later on in the month?
The 20th. So Josh will be here on the 20th to talk about the Writers Workshop. If you are a writer or you're interested in writing, Josh is an independent author with 36 published works, including many anthologies, collaborative novels, 2 solo publications, and even something resembling a poem. Let's see. It says he writes stories that fall somewhere on the weed-choked, poorly tended borders between sci-fi and fantasy.
Okay.
The writers group is a group to discuss writing challenges and successes. So kind of a round table, I guess.
I like it.
We'll talk more about that with Josh when he is here with us on the 20th. But that is Wednesday, the 26th at Samana Writers Workshop. Oh, this weekend at Alt House Arboretum, one of our favorite places we love to talk about. If you have a Christmas tree that you need to recycle, you can bring it up to Alt House Arboretum on Saturday or Sunday, the 8th and 9th, from 9 to 3. So they chip those trees up and then they, I don't know,
Use them for mulch.
use
and
it for
other
mulch
things.
or for whatever. They do also offer a pickup. So if you can't get your tree over there to recycle it, you can go
Interesting.
to
Oh.
recycleyourtree.com and arrange for it
Aw.
to be picked up. There is a fee for that. The drop off at Alt House Arboretum is free. So
So I'm
No.
going to put the recycle your tree. Is that
Yep,
what it is?
that's what, I hope I wrote that down correctly. Yeah.
that into
recycleyourtree.com.
comments. Your
So
tree.
I think you can also put your tree out with your burrow.
I was
trash
gonna say
pickup.
JP already took mine.
Okay.
JP Mascara. They took
I'm like
mine.
you talking about JP Mascara like they're your best friend.
JP.
Yeah.
They're
So
not.
I think you just put it out.
Mhm.
You don't put it in a bag.
Yes,
You just
they,
put it
they
out.
did clarify. Please
Yes.
do not put it in a
Do not
bag.
put it
They
in a
will
bag.
not take it. Do not do that.
Right. And don't
throw
you
the
don't
tree
need to
out
put
the
it in a
window.
leaf bag or anything. You just
Yes.
leave it there. But if you want to do a very green thing, you can take it up to Alt House Arboretum.
Yes.
Which is on Gilbertsville Road
Yes.
in Upper Pottsgrove.
Yes.
And people can find all of these places. Everybody that we just talked about has a Facebook page
Yes.
that you can find by going to the search bar on Facebook,
Yes.
or you can Google it.
Or you can go to the Google.
There you
Google
go.
it.
Google's.
Phillies Fire Company, our neighbors, Matt, right
Mhm.
behind us.
My son is a member of Phillies Fire Company.
We rely on them to keep us safe. They are having a designer bag bingo Saturday, January 22nd at the State Street Entertainment Hall. Where is that?
Oh, that's down on
State Street.
the State Street Entertainment Hall.
Yeah,
That's a new one for me.
I
couldn't
believe
tell
that's
you.
where the old Giant was.
Oh,
Up
really?
there, or where the old TJ Maxx was.
Oh, okay.
Up there in the Pottstown
That's
Plaza.
799
Yep.
State Street. I know that because I got dispatched
State
there all
Street
the time when I
Bingo
was a
is
cop.
the website if you would like to buy tickets, and that supports the Phillies Fire Company.
What day is
Saturday, January 22nd at 5 p.m. I've never been to a designer bag bingo. It's a really popular thing.
All of my bags collect crumbs and diapers.
Yes, you do not.
So
want
I do
anything
not
fancy.
need
You
a
like,
fancy
vinyl.
bag.
You need vinyl.
Yes,
right?
give me a trash bag.
Yes.
I will carry it through the streets of Pottstown.
that? Elizabeth Harper
Alright.
is saying Mascara will be picking up trees the next 2 Wednesdays.
Got it.
The next two
Next
Wednesdays.
two
They did not
Wednesdays.
pick mine up on Wednesday, those rabble rousers.
Yeah.
So if
they-
you call their customer service line and tell them what town you're in, sometimes if the truck's still in the area, the route supervisor will send the
No, but
truck
I don't
back.
want to
No, but
bother
they picked it up.
them. They did.
They
They
did.
picked it
Because
up
sometimes
today.
I'm just
and-
putting that out there.
Yes.
Because sometimes my trash gets skipped too.
Yes.
But that's if your trash does get skipped.
Yes.
Call Mascara customer service.
I
tell
think
them
they're
you live in
having a hard
Pottstown.
time of it, though, with
yes,
COVID
they
and
definitely are
staffing
having a
and-
hard time. for sure.
Just saying.
Yes.
Saturday, January 29th, one of my favorite places in town. Where do I go to create my art, Matt?
You go to Art
Art
Fusion,
Fusion 19464.
19464.
They are having their very popular Soup Bowl fundraiser Saturday, January 29th.
Forgot it was
It
a new
is
year.
limited to 75 tickets. Tickets are $25. You can go to the artfusion19464.org website to buy your ticket. You can go. They have excellent soups. You get a bowl. It's a great fundraiser. I love Art Fusion. It's one of my favorite places.
I love soup.
Yes, there you go.
I love soup. Chowder, chili.
They have like probably usually 12 to 15 different soups.
Oh,
Yeah, it's great.
better be chicken corn chowder.
All right, chicken corn chowder. Well, Grumpy usually provides a soup, so talk to Grumpy and see.
Oh,
if
I
he'll
will.
make a chicken for you.
Yes, I know him.
Yeah.
We'll chat.
Our friend Mike Murphy wanted to remind us that the mini stand down is the fourth Saturday of every month down at Memorial Park. So that is on Veterans Island at Memorial Park from 10 to 12. It is for vets by vets. So they provide services for veterans, a meal, clothing, basic necessities.
They get people pointed in the right
Yeah.
direction.
I love
too.
So
it.
if you
Yeah.
are a vet in need, you can go meet up with some other vets and get the services that you need. So that's
Bring
at
your
Memorial Park.
military ID or
Yep.
your DD 214.
Yes. Oh, yes. Bring your DD 214 or VAID.
Someone post
It's right
that to
there.
Ion Pottstown so I can approve it.
Okay.
We'll point Mike
Yep.
Murphy in your direction.
Thank you.
Mike also wanted to let us know that the oldest living U.S. veteran passed away.
Yeah, I saw that.
I saw it in the paper.
112 years old.
112 years old. Lawrence Brooks.
Yeah, he
Dang.
was a World War II vet.
Yeah.
That's a good
Wow.
life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
112.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Deb Penrod wanted us to know that the AFTTCAS system has been activated. Alert system, the AFTTCAS.
What is
Alcohol, French toast, tobacco, and condom alert system has been activated for Montgomery County. There is a report for 2 to 4 inches of snow expected to start late this evening. It should end around 8 a.m. tomorrow. There will be some wind gusts in the 35-mile range. So make sure that you have your alcohol, French toast, tobacco, and condoms. Thank you, Deb Penrod, for that.
Hilarious.
All right. Do
That's
we
a
have
good
any? Do we
update.
have any other guests
I
lined
can't
up?
even be mad.
I don't think
No.
we do. Just Josh
So-
Taylor on the 20th.
Josh Taylor on the 20th. So
I-
if
oh,
folks want
Dang
to,
it! Hold on. I had some other news.
okay. So in the meantime, I'll tell people how they can come on the show. This is how we got Elizabeth Deviney from Ion Pottstown. She asked to come on the show.
Yes.
She was like, how do
Hey.
you come on? How do you get to come on the show?
I was invited.
Well, you did kind of bring it up during one of the episodes. You were like, how does
That
somebody?
makes me sound needy.
No,
Not at all.
Not at
We're
all.
always begging people.
We are. We'll beg you. But if you have something to say that's relevant and germane to the conversation,
Okay.
all I'm saying is send us an email, call us, flag us down on the street. I got Evan Brandt to come on the show because
Yeah.
I was sitting next to him at the counter at Very Best, and he said, "Hey, I wouldn't mind being on your show." And I said, "I was
Okay,
going to
pick
ask
a
you
date.
to pick a date."
I then.
It's super easy. If you want to get on Porchcast Pottstown and share your message, just ask.
Yep.
Oh,
We'll
cool.
fit you into the schedule. It's
Can I
really-
come back?
Yeah, anytime. Seriously,
Yay.
anytime. I would really, really like to have a more closer working relationship with the people on Ion Pottstown because I feel like we're doing very similar things.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if we can work together,
Yep.
I think that'll even be better.
Absolutely.
And I know that there's some thought from Evan Brandt about getting involved in one way, shape, or form
Oh,
too.
cool.
So yes, let's continue
For
to
sure.
collaborate.
So I have just a couple of things that I learned on the Pottstown Community Leaders Breakfast meeting the other day. February 26th is the Foundation for Pottstown Education fundraising event in conjunction with the All District Musical. This year they are doing Shrek, and that's the weekend of February 26th. So thank you to our friend Joe Rusevich for sharing that information. If you would like to participate in their fundraising, I don't know if they're calling it a gala.
A gala.
but I'm sure you can go to the district page and learn about their all district musical Shrek.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
You could also go to the Foundation for Pottstown Education. They have a Facebook
Yep.
page.
Yep.
Support the arts.
Absolutely.
There are. I'm not going to go into like vax clinics. There's all over the place.
Yeah.
If you want to get a vaccine,
Get a vaccine.
Just go to
just-
Montco,
yeah.
PA.
Yep.
And there's all kinds of information
All
about
over
what's
the place.
going on.
Yeah.
Yep, it's easy to do. This is from the Hobart's Run Community Leaders.
Yep. Community Health and Dental is having a job fair
Okay.
at Community Health and Dental. So if you are in the medical field, I'm not sure if every job they have open requires any sort of medical training. But
Send help.
That is
Yeah,
on
right.
Tuesday, the
Yeah.
11th, from 11 to 6 at the Coventry Mall job fair for the Community Health and Dental. So
There you go. Get a job.
And then I thought this was very exciting news. So Take It Outdoors Adventures, which is across the river
Yeah.
in
They're
the 5.
fighters. Mm-hmm. They're in the Wampler complex. That's
Yes.
that area back there. People would
They
know it.
have requested and been approved to move their operation to Riverfront Park.
Okay.
So they will no longer be in the 5. They will
They'll
be in the 4. I
They'll
think that's
be-
fantastic.
Yeah.
That's
That's
great.
awesome.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're going to be setting up some sort of like a temporary shelter or how
They
they're going
did
to
have like a little shed there for a while in the
Yeah,
park.
so I'm not sure what the facility is going to be, but they
Right.
are going to be this season moving
So they're going to be
into
based out of
Riverfront
the
Park. So they're
borough
going
of
to be
Pottstown.
based out of the borough of Pottstown. And
Nice.
then along with the trail is getting connected. It will be fully connected between Philly and Reading
Nice.
very soon. And then to continue the work to go all the way up to Schuylkill County. But
Okay.
It's very exciting.
it is very exciting, and it is a big anchor for tourism in Pottstown. People don't think of like Pottstown as being a tourist destination, but once that bike trail is connected all the way through,
Mhm.
Pottstown will be a good stopping point.
Trail
Nice.
is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Yeah,
I would say this: if you are a member of a nonprofit organization in Pottstown, or you are part of a church or some other type of community organization, reach out to the folks at Hobart's Run, and they can get you on the invite list
Yep.
to the Community Leaders Breakfast.
Yep. All right. Joe Rusevich is saying it's a special event, not a gala.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
A
So
gala.
excellent. All right, that's what I got.
Trinita Brand, thanks for tuning in.
Hello.
Trinita is not my counselor,
No.
although I did have a nice online conversation with her.
She
about
was
something
just
that-
named as President Pro Tem,
Okay.
right? So if
Mhm.
if Dan or Donald are not available to
Then
run
she's
the
the
meeting, then
backup.
she is the one.
Yeah, I had a-
Congratulations, Trinita.
I had a good conversation with her about something that I was concerned about that was going on in Pottstown or is going on in Pottstown. I reached out to her virtually.
That sounds very
And,
mysterious.
It's going to remain mysterious because I really don't want to be putting it out there.
That's
Okay.
fair.
But it's kind of a little top secret for
Okay.
me, just for
Ooh.
personal
Sure.
security. But again, to reiterate something that Liz was saying earlier about Eye on Pottstown, if you want to complain, if you have a concern, talk to your community leaders and see what you can do to
Just
get involved.
go to the
Yeah.
borough page.
Yes.
Everything is there.
Everything is there. Pretty
Everything.
easy.
Yes.
All right. So
All right,
this
wrap it
show,
Good show.
the show that you've been watching is Porchcast Pottstown. We are live on Thursdays at Pottstown United Brewing Company. We come on at 6:00. Your hosts are myself, Matt Green, and Amy Wolf. We are your hosts of Porchcast Pottstown. Tonight, our lovely guest has been Elizabeth Deviney from Eye on Pottstown, which is Pottstown's virtual.
Town center.
Virtual Town Center. I love it.
There
Complete
you
with
go.
jugglers. Doot, doot, doot,
Right.
doot, doot,
And
doot,
dunk
doot.
tanks.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in to Porchcast Pottstown. I am Matt Green. I am your local real estate expert. Please call me when you have a concern, when you need help selling
You totally lost
residential
your spiel.
or commercial real estate. Call me, Matt Green at Clocker Real Estate. I am your local real estate expert. Amy Wolf is the business manager at Wolf Baldwin and Associates, bringing you fine legal service in the borough of Pottstown since 1973. We are Porchcast. Let's talk soon.
See you next week.